Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's been a busy day for the news. We had all of the waifu stuff, we also had all the battle pass stuff, and also there is a data mine with some really interesting information from it. This is from Zabi, and it's talking about not just the new waifu stuff, but also it's talking about the long-awaited leaked game mode, the Strategic Bomber mission. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about it and how it'll generally work, and also look forward to it. It looks like they're doing a similar thing to what they did with the seed missions, where they're just going to maybe give them a go, and you're going to see how they go. Should be interesting to see how they implement this mode, and whenever it does go live, or they talk about it publicly, I'll make sure to let you know when it's happening. But right now, all we have is the data mine to look at. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe, and also like the video. Let's get started. I didn't know where to put this, so I'll put it here. There are also Twitch drops happening this week for Active Matter over the weekend, and also further past it, Freeman and I will be streaming the 24 hours as we usually do for Twitch drops. If you want to come along and watch it and get your free stuff and enjoy the game and also ask questions about it, since it is a new Gaijin product, come along and have a look at the new kind of genre of extraction shooters that Gaijin is getting into. It's not a new genre, but it is for Gaijin, and that's why at least I find it interesting. It's also, people have asked me how to describe the game. Imagine you mix Tarkov and Stalker. That's it, and it's amazing. Alright, let's get into the video. So before we get into all of the strategic bombing stuff, let's talk about all the waifu stuff first, because there was a few questions that I saw from people about it. Are these vehicles unique vehicles compared to the other ones? Yes, they're literally their own individual vehicles. So you can have these, and then you can also have the kind of other premiums that you run with, and also the squadron vehicles and the standard vehicles and the tech tree too. So these are unique vehicles. They are not camos or skins. They are literally just that. In the files, they're actually labeled as the M1A1HC Clickbait Senai Maidens, the Leopard 2A4M Can Senai Maidens, and the T80UE1 Senai Maidens. So they are literally their own individual vehicles, so you can run them alongside your other kind of premiums that exist, which I think generally is kind of cool and also gives them more value. So if you do want to pick them up, literally it's just another premium that you can add to your vehicles, right? Which is pretty nuts. Now, when it comes to some of the other stuff, they obviously added in all of the decals. They also added in some new titles for the WTCS stuff, which is, of course, the esports side of things, the MVP and the champion stuff, so people can kind of show that off. And then also, they added something interesting, which is the tank reinforcement stuff. For each of the different modifications, you actually get different icons. You get the Elsa, the Kata, and the Maria icon, which I think is actually kind of cool and shows further customization that they may do with not just these characters, but others. They also upgraded all of the old Dakimuras. So if you are a person who enjoys the body pillows and, you know, is what it is, you can actually see them updated in the game now, and you can enjoy that. So there you go. One of the things that Zabi actually points out, which is kind of funny, is they actually added these tanks in a update, which is the 0.69 update, the 2.49.0.69 update. And if you're a young'un, then you'll understand the funny gooning significance of it. And if you're an old'un, it's better if you don't know. When it comes to the video settings as well, the frame limit buffer of 8 megabytes line has been removed. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's get into the strategic bombing stuff. So it was leaked a long time ago that Gaijin was working on seed missions and also talking about kind of the strategic bombing missions. It was something that may have been leaked like last year or maybe early this year, and it's one of those things that a lot of people have been looking forward to. And now, when it comes to the data mines, it looks like it might actually be happening. There's a new mission that has been added, the Deep Strike or Infrastructure Air Defense Golan Heights. And basically the mission changes, you have air defense support, so the seed is cover SBAAs, they now have a bit of a fire delay, but these new strategic bombing mission texts kind of show what these are. So basically, for the attackers, it's an important enemy infrastructure facility is located in this area. Your mission objective is to locate the infrastructure facility and cause as much damage as possible. So locate the oil refinery, destroy as many of its buildings as possible, destroy the oil refinery buildings. And then for defenders, it says enemy aircraft are planning to strike our infrastructure facility in this area. So your mission objective is to prevent the destruction of the infrastructure facility, provide protection from enemy aircraft. So you have to protect the oil refineries, which shouldn't be too surprising. Now, this mission is on Golan Heights, which is obviously one of the high-tier maps, so it looks like it's going to be a high-tier setup. It'll be interesting to see if they use the pre-existing strike aircraft, such as the Tornadoes for this, or other vehicles like the Su-24M, and also what will be the ones that are available. If you remember, during the Seed event, it was very one-sided, with the MiG-21s versus the Phantoms, but the Phantoms having to do multi-role stuff, basically taking on the MiG-21s, and then also taking on the ground targets. It didn't really work very well, and we'll have to see what goes on here. So when it comes to the new vehicle texts, and vehicles are in quotations, these are the things that they're adding, and I think these might actually be to do with the stuff that we looked at in the files. You remember on that one dev server where they added a bunch of buildings and added a bunch of kind of updated textures to, you know, buildings and making them look nice? Looks like they've added new vehicle text to stuff so you can actually destroy them. So you have the oil storage tank, you have the building, industrial building, processing unit, cooling tower, fan cooling tower, chimney, and also the Rapier SAM system, which is broken into Rapier and also SAM. So we know what's going to be defending these areas. It looks like it's going to be the Rapiers, so not the same as the Seed event, which we had before. So it looks like they're really going to give this a go. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to this because it means that there might be an expansion of larger strategic bombers in the game. So a lot of people asking about wanting PvE missions where you basically go in with large bombers, whether it's stuff like the Tu-95 or the B-36 or all of these types of things, and then you hit a target and then you go home. I'm still trying to work out how that would be interesting, but at least from Gaijin's point of view, it seems like they're trying to set up an attacker versus defender thing. So you have people from both sides, not a PvP strict event, but more of, once again, a PvPvE event, which is something that we've seen a lot, and also has been in War Thunder for ages in there, because you have all of the AI stuff on the ground, which can actually influence the battle quite aggressively. So when it comes to these strategic bombing missions, it looks like they're going to be set up very similarly to how the Seed ones were, where you have to find the target as the attacker, then what you have to do is you have to hit the target, and then the defenders just have to knock the planes out of the air. Now, it's kind of interesting how, when it comes to these types of missions, you have to find the target, especially with all the weather settings, and also, if it's set on the Golan Heights, it's probably some pretty upgraded, updated, you know, vehicles, which usually should know where the targets are anyway. We're not talking about, like, World War II stuff here, but then again, who knows? But the Rapier system being involved kind of gives it away that this is going to be a much more higher tier thing than a low tier thing. For me, I would love to see the larger bombers in the game. I think it's something that don't really fit in War Thunder, but in their own game mode or in their own kind of like set of rules, they could fit, just like anything when it comes to the game. And I hope that with the revelation that this is coming in, that it will be fun. Maybe we'll get some news about it today or tomorrow, or maybe they're testing stuff and we'll see it maybe next week or the week after. At the end of the day, it's just really cool to see Gaijin testing new ideas and new game modes, something that they've done for a long time, which many people just seem to forget about, like all of the different stuff that they've tried, whether it's for ground, whether it's for naval, or even for air. And this is a continuation of that idea that they're doing. I was pretty disappointed in the Seed mode. I didn't really like it that much. It felt very one-sided and very, very rough. Basically, you're just trying to cheese the system, which wasn't very fun. With this one, we'll have to see. Maybe in general, it might be a little bit different. Let's go and destroy some oil refineries or defend them as we do. As always, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shea, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.